I'd be going over some Bitcoin and crypto current events on today, Friday, June 6th, 2025. So yeah, let's get after it here. Bitcoin, how are we doing today? Let's share the screen and bring up Coin Market Cap. All right. So here we are. We got Bitcoin at 1045 and it's up 3.39% on the day. Um, if we click in here, take a look. Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin for the past month up 8%, so not bad. But, it just seems like it's doing nothing. I mean, again, since essentially December of 2024, we have been going sideways. And we've had some huge dips. And the main thing I want to talk about today is the effect it's had on the altcoins. Previous cycles, if you look at previous cycles that we've had, for example, the last one, altcoins were shattering all-time highs by now. They were coming up, um, right around here, even 2020, I would say, you know, when Bitcoin was making this move here from December 2020 to essentially April 2021. Okay, Bitcoin made an absolutely massive run up here. Didn't really stop. It just went for 4 straight months. And during this time, the altcoins, I remember very clearly, the altcoins were surging. They started basically in November or December of 2020, and they blew off pretty much right here. There was a huge dip for Bitcoin in the summer of 2021, climbed back up to um, an all-time high. It barely made a new all-time high in November of 2021. And I remember clearly, when this happened, that um, the altcoins, the ones that had made the all-time high in April, they crashed during this move here from essentially April to July of 2021. And they never really, like when Bitcoin made this move, its second kind of top, a lot of altcoins that made a big run didn't ever get back to their all-time high, and then they slowly kind of bled out during the bear market. Some new ones like Shiba Inu, for example, that came along in the middle of the bull run, made their move late. There were a few. I remember like Sandbox, I think, did that. But if you look at this, like let's take a look at some examples here. No particular reason for this, but just think it's interesting. All right. If you go to the rankings, one that sticks out to me is Chainlink, for example. All right. Chainlink, number 13 right now. It's at a market cap of 8.9. It's a very solid token. Okay. This is one, this whole bull run has made me question a lot of altcoins. In the previous one, I had blind faith. This one, I'm very skeptical of who's going to survive. Only the strong survive. And I really do think that Chainlink is one of the few that will, like into next cycle and the cycle beyond. There aren't too many that I can say that about. So let's take a look at Chainlink. All right. So look at this here. Chainlink was around pretty much the very tail end of the first or the second cycle in 2017. Went completely sideways for the entire bear market and really didn't do anything. Once 2020 rolls around, the bull market engages, it starts to go up, probably right here, $2 was a good point. And then at the blow off top in May of 2021, it hit about $50. All right. Then Bitcoin kind of peaked there, fell. It's mimicking Bitcoin here, right? In July of 2021, almost August, it went back down to 19 from a high of 50. When Bitcoin went back up in this September into the end of the year, it went back up, but it really didn't go anywhere close to where it was. And then it slowly bled out to where it bottomed at about $765 in 2022. So in 2022, the bottom of the bear market, it's been chopping around, you know, end of 2023, 2024. That's when things start to go up, chops all the way back. Wow, look at that. Went up to 20, back down to 10, went up when a lot of things, this faked a lot of people out. I feel like this move from, you know, October 2024 to December, January 2024. You know, I personally thought that we were going to go into the stratosphere. Like Chainlink's going to go to $150, you know, more, you know, into the bull run, and then peak maybe now. You know, what do they say? You know, buy in May or sorry, sell in May and then go away. You know, that was kind of my plan. I'm thinking to myself, okay, you know, we're going to blow off top and in May, maybe not, but I'm going to take my money and run. And then, but here we are. I mean, it's June 6th, 2025. We haven't even come close to hitting the previous high. I mean, it has been going up. If you look at the chart, it looks okay. You know, like it's definitely trending up, it seems like, but we're running out of time for the bull market. I mean, the bull market is supposedly every 4 years, right? And it should be technically over by January 2026. So my whole plan was to sell sometime right now between now and January of 2026. I don't know what to believe anymore. I mean, we're at $13 Chainlink. Not much, 6 months to go in the bull market. But then again, you know, a lot of people think that maybe the 4-year cycle is out the window now. Maybe, you know, maybe this just goes like this, trends up, up, up to forever. You know, maybe it just keeps going until 2028. You know, who knows? We don't know. So that's why I think a lot of people are very confused and frustrated, including myself. And I think altcoins are just they're very, I mean, this one isn't super immature. 2018. It's 2025 by now. It's a 7-year-old coin. I mean, it's not some new token, you know, and it's got a valuation of 8.9 billion. So by any measure, that's a good coin. I mean, a great, strong coin. So I think maybe the days of the insane blow off tops or maybe are over. I don't know. But it's an interesting food for thought. So, you know, um, is this the Bitcoin only bull run? Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, I mean, let's look at some other coins, you know, that were good last year. Um, you know, I keep going back to Shiba Inu. There's another one. I mean, well, let's go to Doge actually. Dogecoin. This is the OG meme, right? The absolute OG meme. I mean, that's a pretty damn good looking chart. I mean, I remember this very clearly. I remember I put maybe $500 into Dogecoin in right after this move here from basically when it kind of had its first huge pump in February of 2021. I remember it went from like 002 right to about '07. And you know, I put like $500 on it on Robinhood. Robinhood had listed it for anything else. I remember Elon was talking about it, and then I just remember like sitting in my room during full freaking lockdown, and it made this insane move to 75 cents, I think it was. Um, fuck. And I should get a better trading thing, but um, you know, it went to roughly 75 cents, okay, on that pump. And then it just kept trickling down, and it never really recovered in the end of 2021 when Bitcoin blew off. It just continued its downtrend. And then you obviously, as you can see, it's chopped back, but it's gotten stronger. But where do we go from here? Elon hasn't tweeted about it in a while. I mean, I guess he put his he's been endorsing different things. So the only thing Dogecoin really has for is Elon. And I don't like the fact that I don't want to rely on one guy to pump a coin, put my hard-earned money into a coin like this, when really it's got a strong community for sure. But if Elon came out tomorrow and said, I hate Dogecoin. Dogecoin sucks, and I'm done with Doge. It would crater. It would go to zero. So I don't like the power of one man to manipulate a coin like this. But anyway, it does look like it's going up. So the altcoins are doing something very strange. They're pretty weak, but again, if you zoom out, things look pretty strong. So you make the call. Let's see, what are some other examples of coins? Let's look at Pepe. Pepe. Now, Pepe came out of nowhere in 2024-ish, 2023. This one could be the new Doge, It's pretty damn strong, and it never really had a full-on blow off top like some of the other coins in the bull market. So my guess or my call is that this will probably lead the way for the memes. So that's my call. Let's see what happens. What we got here? Trump coin. Look at this. Doing pretty well today. Maybe not. Oh no, yeah, it's up 6% today. Wow, look at that spike right there. Today at 3 o'clock. Holy crap. That was an hour and a half ago. Went from $9 to 10.42. Okay, well, this one is kind of crazy. And I remember when this was listed by Coinbase, I thought about putting some money into it, but I'm like, you know what? This is gonna tank. And sure enough, look at what it's done from a high of $45, which is like $40 million, $1 billion market cap, all the way down here to what? $8? Oh my God. It's crazy. Feel bad for people who got in at the very top. Easy to do though. So hyped. Um, but injected. Here's another good one. Supposedly. That's the thing. Supposedly. It's all coins are just in bad shape right now. Just suck. 56% down in the year. Injected protocol. So this was one of your classic coins in the previous bull run. Hit $52. Spring of, well, actually, I'm completely wrong on that. This is a new coin, pretty much. All right, so it was brand new in 2021, and then in the spring it hit 18. This is a sign of a really strong coin. Before the real crazy bull phase, that it makes a move like this, kind of out of nowhere. This was 2023. It was at $7, and then by March of 2024, it went to $50, all the way back down to $9. Wow, look at that. That's volatile. It's crazy. I mean, this is probably a pretty good buy right now. It looks like it's kind of bottomed here, and it looks like it's coming back up. So we don't know what's going to happen. I mean, if you look at Bitcoin and you think that there's another leg left, this will probably go back up to $20 or something, maybe more. If Bitcoin goes absolutely nuts, it goes to like 200K. These all could very well shatter their all-time highs. So I think that we should hold it back, but going all in is just dumb, in my opinion. It's just stupid. You don't know what these coins are going to do, you know? I mean, look at some of these coins that have collapsed. I mean, it might not collapse, but it may just fizzle forever. It's crazy. Dog, but see them. This is the year of the meme. This is the cycle of the meme. There's a lot of memes. Question is, which ones are going to be the top dog? No pun intended. Dog with hat. So, dog with hat started in December of 2023 at about 10 cents. Well, probably started on pumped up fun and nothing. Went all the way up to, wow, went up to $5. Holy shit. Yeah, went up to $5. Really came down. I mean, basically from the start of 2025, it's just been doing nothing but go down. And now it looks like a lot of these alts are mimicking. They have the same kind of move where they bottomed essentially 2 months ago. Remember, that was really bad. Looking at the charts a couple months ago, I was like, it's all over. Looks like it found a little bottom here and we're kind of going back up. So we'll have to see. But Sandbox, this was another one. This one was just insane. I remember this. Went from wow, November of 2020 to November of 2020. So in a year, it went from 0.03 to $7. Wow, that's crazy. This was a standout for sure. And then it's just slowly leaked, consolidated, and here we are. It's still going down. It's insane. And is this doing anything? Like, um what is Sandbox doing? You know, it's crypto. Let's just do a basic search here. Sand gears for a major comeback. Ukraine launches Sandbox for testing blockchain and AI products. Wow. Um, Check out the old Twitter here. Sandbox. Just do sand. You can learn a lot from X. It's kind of crypto Twitter, crypto X is more amusing than anything else, but it's good to get your finger on the pulse of what's happening. Um, I'm not seeing a lot here. Partnerships. Is there a partnership? It doesn't really mean much. Yeah, conventions. I don't know. It's hard to know. They're still around. They're still building, apparently. So, one to keep an eye on. But these are the OG. These are kind of OG coins. Been around for a while. If we can identify some coins that have a lot of upside. I mentioned Decentralands is another one. Same exact type of coin, same type of move. Went from 0.07 in 2020, 2021, all the way to $5 or $6 back at the peak. I mean, just $500 right there would have made you significant sum of money if you had sold anywhere near the top. Question is, are they going to come back? We don't know. I mean, it's a gamble, you know? So, another one, ApeCoin. Remember this one? ApeCoin. Well, this was almost scammy. I mean, it was just like Trump coin. This looks a little bit like Trump coin. Peaked out and then just bled forever. And it's still not done. ApeCoin. I want to look at this here. This was such a big coin. Ape has real long-term potential. Maybe it does. Bunch of bullshit. Ethereum and Ape. The bottom will be between now and 6.7. No, I don't know what you're talking about. See, altcoins are just dead. There's no enthusiasm. There's no nothing. It's craziness. They're sleeping. They're dormant. Check out ApeCoin. Let's go to the top. A lot of followers, 472.5 thousand. Alpine F1 team. They're partnered with an F1 team. Interesting. I mean, this could be one of those that actually has a future. We seem to have a lot of partnerships. Pogs. Wow, look at that. Remember Pogs? Those are sick. They got their 8 Pogs. All right, kind of like that. Yuga Labs. So yeah, ApeCoin is on an F1 team. What's the BWT? Alpine Formula One team. Who's the driver there? Alpine F1 team. Oh, we got Pierre Gasly, Jack Doohan. Okay. It's kind of cool. ApeCoin is on the Alpine F1 car. That's pretty cool. I mean, I remember when Fetch AI was part of they were partnered with a team, Fetch AI F1. Yeah, they partnered with Alex Albon, and I don't know if that's still the case. Fetch AI. It's hard to know if that's still the case. This was back again. This is 2022, so it was the bear market. Let's look at this. Cryptos. How about this? Let's do a little chat GPT thing. GPT. Um, crypts have sports partnerships. Come on, ChatGPT. Crypto.com. served as the official sponsor of Formula One. So crypto is huge. There's no doubt. Aston Martin entered a historic multi-year partnership with Coinbase, Bybit, Gate.io. Gate.io, okay. Crypto.com is huge. Tezos. Enter the sports partnership, partnering with the Mets. My Mets, baby. Come on, Mets. And Man U, Bybit, Argentine national team. Crypto.com Center, of course, Coinbase, Jesus, Crypto.com, OKX, eToro. So they're mainly exchanges. They're not actual like cryptos, but this is where ChatGPT isn't the best. Which altcoins have partnership? Let's see if it knows what an altcoin is. Uh-oh. Chili's. Chili's has teamed up with various sports organizations. Okay. What's Chili's doing? It's cult. Let's see what's going on with Chili's. Chili's. Same familiar chart. Absolute insane blow off top. 01 to 60 cents and then just bounce back and then bled. Damn. So despite the fact that Chili's has partnerships, it's still dead. Or you could say that it's more reasonable. It's probably a better way of thinking about it. It's a more reasonable market cap because back then it was probably, you know, billions. Yeah. This was before it even had partnerships. This is when the partnerships happened after it did this, probably. But I don't even know what the hell this does. I don't care. I'm just curious as to what getting the most attention. Span tokenization of sports teams. Filecoin. I've already talked about Filecoin. Insane chart. Singularity. Floki. Floki's a meme. Okay. Floki. Oh. Floki's showing some strength. I mean, Floki popped up there again, just like all the rest of them. There was two waves. There was the April 2021 one, and there's the November 2021 pump. And this one was part of that pump. I don't remember Floki really because it was kind of shadowed by Shiba Inu and some of the other ones. But yeah, just like every other coin, it had this, this bear market chop sideways thing. And then once 2024 happened, boom, popped right back up to its previous levels. And then it's split like again, like everything else. Pick your coin. Polygon. Yeah. Let's see what it says. Which altcoin has the best long-term potential? It's going to be like Ethereum, Solana, yeah, Solana, Cardano, Polkadot. That's interesting. I love Polkadot. Avalanche, it's a good one. Chainlink, yep. XRP, now that they won their lawsuit. Polygon sucks recently. Litecoin. Litecoin, I'm not a huge fan. So yeah, it's pretty generic. Nothing out of the norm. Nothing out of the norm. But yeah. So look at some trending coins. XRP is one of those that really could be the next Ethereum. I mean, it's already on its way, but its chart looks a lot better than some of these other ones. Still, has bled since January, like everything else. So, will we see if you look at this, from January, it bled out. Well, this one's a bad example. Let's look at Ethereum. Because Ethereum is still the OG all. 2021. See, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like the 2021 blow off top bull run. This is just so different. So maybe we'll finish off this video with a quick look at some news in Telegraph. There's all the shenanigans about Trump. Oh shit. No, no, no. Get out of here. How do you see? We were just using ChatGPT. ChatGPT is getting big. Has Bitcoin been captured by politics and institutions? That's an interesting article. Bitcoin is now front and center in political conferences and corporate boardrooms. In this episode of Bite Size Insight, we're blah, blah, blah. That's the thing, ever since these ETFs and Trump's kind of endorsing it, we don't want it to be seized by these Wall Street political a-holes. We're going all in. Okay. But it's about Bitcoin. We want to know about the altcoins, right? And right now, Bitcoin is not too far off. It's all-time high, and yet the altcoins are still going down. They're not even close to where they were. So what is that telling you? I don't know. I just don't know. I think we just have to be patient, kind of sit on our hands. At the moment, I'm not really adding to positions because I just don't know. So I'm kind of still in some stocks and some safer investments until I see a clear breakout. But even then, we've had these fake outs and stuff. So, I'm happy with my positions, and it's not crazy, but it's something if something like this happens. So yeah, that's where I'm going to end this stream. But let's stay strong and keep trucking. Thank you. Bye.